Freestyle. Hello? Anyone home?
Hello.
Sorry for snooping around. Nothing poisonous in here, is there?
Nothing, I'm out here.
I thought this was the bad size, but that's the bad side. What would it take to get it out of you?
I'm gonna say in the range of $50,000.
Ain't gonna happen.
Yeah!
That's a steering wheel for you. It's called a fat man steering wheel.
You've taken to insulting me.
Master Cousins, I presume.
Yikes!
Last guy came through here, he's buried under something. Throw down the gauntlet, let's say 15.
I'm Scott Cousin.
I'm Sheldon Smithon.
And we're pickers. We travel all over Canada, coast to coast, from the West Rocky Mountains to the Eastern Shores and all the back roads in between, looking for hidden gems in people's basements, attics, and bars. Sometimes we take a gamble, trust in our gut to make a buck.
Just like the people we meet, every story is different.
It's not junk to us.
What an incredible part of Nova Scotia. It's just beautiful, isn't it?
Absolutely. Unbelievable.
There's a whole province to be picked here with some great old barns.
As long as you don't hit a moose, we're golden. Apparently, Lunenburg County is the Christmas tree capital of the world and the home of the Blue Nose.
Let's hope it's Picker's Paradise.
Yeah, exactly.
Great old barn. We could be doing some door knocking on this road.
Yeah.
I think we're going to do something we haven't done in a little while. We're going to do some freestyling.
That means you're just gonna look on the road, see a house that looks good, see if it's got stuff around it that looks good. You knock on the door, see what happens. There's an old barn,
Yeah.
but it looks like a hay barn. Not likely to be anything in that.
I am totally convinced that there's something to buy here, Scott.
Yeah, I'm looking for an old tractor out front, maybe a cream separator with a nice couple barns and an old ratty truck. Not looking for a BMW on the front lawn. Hey, 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 freestyle.
This has all the elements.
It really does.
An old Victorian house, they got a little bit of, the paint doesn't match.
Do you want to stop?
Why not?
Hello? Anyone home?
Hello. Hi. How you doing?
Good, how are you? Sorry for snooping around. My name's Scott.
Hi, I'm Jeff.
How are you, Jeff?
Pretty
This
good.
is my friend Sheldon.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Not
We're
too bad.
antique pickers, and we're just driving around looking for places that look good, and your place looked perfect.
Oh, okay.
We were wondering if you had anything you might want to sell.
You never know, but you can look around.
Okay. I spotted something inside the door I wanted to ask you about.
All right.
You've been snooping already, Scott.
But I noticed you had a little piece of advertising right up at the top of the stairs.
Yeah, that's been there for a long time. Probably my grandfather had that there.
And I know that that's something that I'm going to buy if I can. So it's starting good for me. Can we go up and take a look at it?
Sure, come on up.
Oh, a workshop in here.
Hey, this is where it all happens.
Whew.
You do some carpentry.
Oh, yeah. I'm the fourth generation in here.
Wow.
My great-grandfather built it. I think in somewhere around 1921, maybe.
As we wandered into his shop, I could see Jeff was a real craftsman. And he had a few old bits hanging around here and there. Whether they were for sale or not, well, we were going to find out.
Got any old tools?
Oh, yeah, but they're staying here.
You collect old tools?
Oh, well, I don't really collect them, but there's been a lot collected up over the years, and
Yeah.
I'm not too anxious to get rid of it.
No? Would you part with the sign?
I probably would.
Yeah?
It's just hanging there.
What would you want for that?
Look, I don't know what that's worth.
Neither do I, but it's cool. It looks like it's probably from the 50s, is my guess. Retro is so in right now, and that is retro. Real colorful, real desirable. I don't know, 20 bucks, take it?
Listen, it's just hanging there anyway, so if you want it for 20 bucks, you take it.
Okay. Great, thanks. Anytime you can buy something off of a guy's wall the first time you ask, I'm happy about that. Things are looking up. Can we have a peek in this room over here?
Sure.
Got a set of scales up there. Can I climb up there and take a look at the scales?
Have a look at it if you want.
Sheldon, I'll pass that to you. Warren, Montreal. Huh. Normally scales aren't a big deal for me, but this one was nice and small. It was just absolutely sweet.
Doesn't look like you've used it in the last couple weeks.
No, by me someday, though.
Okay.
Got this added little rabbit on the weight, which
Yeah,
is
I
really
saw that.
sweet.
Yeah.
You sure you wouldn't part with that?
No, I don't want to part with that.
I'll put that baby back up then. I'd love to have that little bunny in my truck. Anything else?
Lead the way, Jeff.
All right. The only other thing is the barn over there, but I don't think there's anything in there I want to part with.
It's a pretty good-looking barn.
The barn itself was just beautiful. I mean, here's this old, late 19th century barn. It was worth the price of admission alone.
You got some nice big red wagon wheels in here.
That's for an old horse wagon.
Wagon wheels are really desirable. People put them on their front lawns. Then I see another one, and I see another one, and I see another one. Then I realize there's a whole wagon there. Hey, Sheldon, are we in the market for a wheeled carriage?
I don't know, Scott.
That's been in here for probably 35, 40 years.
It's a beauty. This wagon probably dates from the 1890s. I mean, it's big, it's heavy, it's hard to move and everything else, but it's red.
Scott loves red, and he likes big, and that moved a lot of hay, that wagon.
If you were gonna sell that, what would you want for it?
I have no idea. I'm not even sure I want to sell it.
Those are two answers I don't like. Lovely thing. If it was up for grabs, we would have thought real hard about that. Anything else we haven't seen so far?
We could take a run down to my mother's. She might have something around that you might find interesting.
Sure. How long's your mother lived here?
She's lived there since the early 50s.
Anytime you can get from the barn to the house, that's a good thing. Hi, nice to meet you.
And they're wondering if you had anything around that you might want to let them look at.
Well, there's a few things around.
Bertie's a great lady. I mean, how many people are gonna let two strangers walk up to their door and then go in their house? We're looking for tins, signs, toys.
Yeah, I think there's an old metal truck in there sometime.
Okay.
Now that's an old baby. Wow, somebody's ridden that one hard. I love toys, and this was a great toy at one time. It's probably a Buddy L truck.
That must have been Dad's, and then he gave it to me,
Well, that could be.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is made in the 1920s probably, early 30s maybe. That toy in real good condition would have been anywhere between $600 and $1,000. It was beat.
Looks like you took it for a joyride.
Yeah, I think I sat on it and shouldn't have.
Yeah, and I think you left it out in the rain a few times too, but it's still sort of a fun little thing. Would you sell that?
Yeah, I don't want it.
What would you want for it?
Whatever you think it's worth. I'm not going to be sticking you on that one.
20 bucks.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
All right.
It would have been a lot more if it had been in better condition.
Oh, I'm sure.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And he was shocked, I think, that I offered him that much for that toy, and we shook on it, and that was a good thing to have.
We'll never get it back to the original paint, but we'll get it looking like a truck again as opposed to an old wreck.
What about the chest itself? Is that something you'd consider selling?
It wasn't unusual for a carpenter as an apprentice project to actually be required to build his own trunk.
My sister wants to hold on to it for sure, so.
Sure. What about that? It looks like a hall stand. Is that,
Yes, it is.
Now that looks like a good piece of Canadiana.
I believe my great-grandfather made that.
Somebody's done a little bit of turning on a lathe and...
He would have done that. He used to have an old foot treadle turning lathe.
It was based on a real standard item, the sort of thing you'd see in an Eaton's catalog. It had a few different features.
What's that little thing on the side there?
That's a little drip tray. And your brawley would have sat right in there, your brawley or your sticks.
So that would have caught the water so you didn't mess your floor up.
Exactly.
That would have been 1890, 1900, maybe even into 1910 they were still popular.
Something you'd part with?
No, because I know my sister wants it if I don't.
Oh, okay.
Look, when you're door knocking somebody, you have no expectations because you're imposing on them. So when he says it's not up for grabs, hey, it's not up for grabs. Can I head into that room over there? Is there anything in there?
Sure, you can go in, have a look.
Hey, Jeff, anytime you want us to come and clean out your basement, just give us a call.
I'll do that.
Oh,
that's a sweetie.
Oh, that is the classic.
That's a
Mitchell
little one.
Garcia.
And I see the mother lode fishing stuff, which both Sheldon and I love. That's 1960s.
The ball bearings are steel in this, now they're plastic.
And you know what? That's still the best spinning rod you'll ever use.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Would you let that little guy go?
No.
I don't blame you. I wouldn't either. Here, Sheldon, I'm gonna hand these rods out to you.
Doesn't look like anybody's fished with these, Jeff, for a while.
No, I know I haven't. That's an old creel that I had when I was a kid.
Fishing creel is something that a fly fisherman would have used. Fished with one hand, and if he catches a fish, just drops it inside the creel.
Fish I catch now won't go in that hole.
Or so you say.
It's not very old. It's probably 60s is my guess.
Probably all right, yeah.
Lots of people will actually take an old creel and they'll screw it to the side of their house and use it as a mailbox. What would you want for that?
I don't know. You make me an offer.
Well, we bought one yesterday for 15 bucks. We'd give you 15 for this.
All right. Sounds good.
Good. What would you want for those?
Well, I don't think I really want to part with those.
You're a hard man. What about the little belt? That leather's probably 80 years old. It's soft, it's supple. You would have put flies in one compartment, some leader in another compartment. It's just a lovely thing that any fisherman would like to have, and there's a bunch of them that would like to use it. Would you let that little guy go?
Oh, I don't know.
10 bucks?
Yeah, I guess so.
And what about the rods, Jeff? This one's split cane.
I'll buy any split cane rod. It's just a question of price. They made these split cane rods right from the 1890s right up to the 1960s.
Yeah.
I'd say these were turn of the 19th into the 20th century. They're good old rods.
I don't think I really want to part with this one. That one there that's kind of going to pieces, maybe.
This is going to pieces.
Yeah, I'm quite sure.
This is a wall hanger. That's all that is now, is a wall hanger. You know, it probably would have been, what, a $75 rod in good condition?
Yeah, but the
It's
wraps
probably a $20, $25 rod tops in that condition.
Yeah, $20.
Are you okay with that?
Okay.
All right,
All right.
good.
Okay.
If we decide to restore it, it's going to cost us a lot, but then we've got a serious fishing rod.
I think we've done all the damage we can do in here, Sheldon.
Thank you so much. So nice to meet you.
You too.
Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it.
Bye-bye now.
See you later.
So I think all we got to do now is unscrew that thing off the wall and we're done. That truck's a beater.
Well played with, as trucks should be.
Creels are great. Decorators love them. Fishing collectors love them. Jeff, a pleasure. Thanks a lot because, you know, we cold called you and thanks for showing us your stuff.
Yeah.
We bought a few things.
Thank your mom for us as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All
Okay.
right. Thanks,
All right,
Jeff.
Thanks a lot.
Drive safe. See you later.
I'm always surprised when we do a door knock that anybody even answers the door, let alone invites us into their house and sells the stuff.
My kind of guy, Jeff, to tell you the truth.
You know, I got a lot of time for a guy that you just wander into his property and he says, sure, I'll show you around.
Yeah.
I want to stop for coffee.
We've got picks all over the place. We'll do a little bit of a route.
Go to Amherst. Where the heck is Pugwash?
Hey, there's Pugwash.
Nice name. Shit.
Heck of a way to start the morning. Now the map looks broken in. I believe this one's on you.
Why do they all seem to be on me? Go.
We're in a real historic part of Nova Scotia, and we're going to see George the Junkman.
When I hear George the Junkman, I hear good things and I hear bad things at the same time.
It's gonna be on your side, I believe.
I think it's right here. I see a red Indian gas pump.
That would be the spot. Check out the barn.
Oh yeah, the barn's beautiful.
What a great little car this Model T is.
Isn't it beautiful?
When guys start displaying it outside, you can pretty well rest assured there's going to be lots inside each and every building.
You must be George.
I am.
Scott Cousins. To meet
And
you.
I'm Sheldon Smithens.
Hi, Sheldon.
Well, you got a great spot here, and it looks like you got a ton of stuff.
Oh, I like lots of stuff. Stuff is fun. I'm very much interested in anything old that's local or has a Canadian connection.
Are you still collecting?
Some things gotten a little more refined with what I want.
He's a picker. He loves getting into barns, climbing up and down, lifting things, but he can't now because he's hurt his back. So what aren't you collecting anymore?
Well, things that are heavy are less enticing to me now.
They've always been less enticing to me.
Would you part with either of these?
I would sell you the green one.
Do you mind if I dig it out a little bit?
Not a bit. Just go for it.
Can I climb up on the
Sure,
track of this?
on the track, yeah.
Sheldon's down low, so I figure I may as well go up high so we're covering 2 bases there. And I see this little tricycle. Nothing poisonous in here, is there?
No, nothing. I'm out here. Has that been in there a while or what?
Wow, has that been in there a long time? Gosh, I might be able to clean some of that off. It's got that real nice sort of Chrysler airflow design to it, right? Yeah. And that's what people are looking for. They're looking for
style,
an image. Woolwich, Western Ontario. I think that's a late 40s, early 50s bicycle. Would you sell that?
What would you give me for it?
20 bucks?
25 and it's yours.
Deal. Hey, Sheldon, we broke the ice.
Go on, Scott.
It always makes me feel good when the first thing I ask about, I get. Because then I'm thinking, I'm going to be able to buy something here.
What do you think on that
Wheelbarrow, yeah.
I'll part with it, but I want you to make me an offer on it.
Your turn, Sheldon.
How
Your
about 40
turn.
bucks?
No, it's worth more than that to me to use.
So what's it worth?
What do you think on that wooden wheelbarrow, George? I tried to buy it off him. It's the sort of thing I would pay $50, maybe even stretch myself to $60 or $70.
$100 bill.
Let's think on that one. At $100, I don't think there's any money in it.
Didn't we just buy one of these?
We did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Urban oil with the dozer on it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
In nearly mint condition.
Really?
Yeah. So I take it you're keeping that one.
Well, what do you offer me for it?
Well, we paid 20 bucks, and before I could say that's what I paid for a good one, he said,
Sold.
Sold it is.
got to bring these things out to the light before I make an offer on them. And when I got it outside, it was rusty. You know, I paid 20 for it. I'll probably sell it for 20.
Have you got room in your truck for a John Deere?
Only if it's pre-1910.
Good answer.
And I noticed you got a paint sign up there. Right there are a bunch of really saleable signs. If I can get them at the right price, I'm buying every piece of advertising I can find that's in decent condition. The frost and wood sign, it's wood.
No, it's tin.
And I'm thinking, if I can make a deal on this piece, maybe there's going to be some advertising up for sale. Would you sell that?
No, I don't think I will.
I love the fact that George values Canadian history. The problem is, that's what we're looking for. Okay, what about the Esso signs you got?
No.
What about the Hudson sign? 1930s, beautiful sign. A lot of people would love to have that sign.
No. I have a Hudson right there. That's a 1946 truck. Very uncommon.
I'm kind of thinking that a couple of pickers should be driving around in a vehicle like that someday.
So if somebody came to you with a pocket full of money and said, I'd like to buy it, what would it take to get it out of you?
Probably a considerable amount. I'm going to say in the range of $50,000.
Ain't gonna happen.
And I bet you they'd get the sign for free if they did that, right? But I'm not sure he'd sell it for that if I pulled 50,000 out. Is any of that stuff up there for sale? You got an old Mobil Oil gargoyle.
Yeah, oil dispenser up there.
It would have sat between the gas pumps, would have been filled with glass bottles with oil in it. Great item, other than the fact that it was absolutely beat. I thought this was the bad side, but that's the bad side. So what do you want for this thing? I mean, it's in rough shape, right?
Oh my God, I got married in less time.
Well, what do you think it would be worth if it was perfect?
$400.
I think he was light at $400 on it, but that wasn't in real good condition. So, beat, what do you think it's worth? 40 bucks?
I paid more than that for it.
What'd you pay for it?
I paid 75 for it.
So what's your bottom line on that?
100 bucks.
$100 I thought was a bit steep. We'll just leave this and then maybe we'll come back to it. I grabbed something that looked to me like a churn of some kind. But what drew me to it was green, real pretty. This looks like a little air vent there, see? It had a bunch of wheels inside of it that is typical of what a butter churn is.
What does it say on it?
What does it say?
It says freight churn, so it's probably American.
September of 1871.
Yeah. And what we'll probably end up doing it if we get it is we'll take that right off, take the guts out, somebody will use it as a plat. I'm not sure about these bottom legs. Are you, Sheldon?
Yeah, they're right.
They're right? Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What would make you happy?
175 bucks.
You're a little higher than I wanted to be. Sheldon and I are having trouble buying anything here. This is a really nice item that's up both our alleys. We both love it. We're taking that home. It's just a question of what we're paying for it. You're firm at 175. Yeah. Let's just have a break and talk about this, okay?
Okay.
George, why don't you sit down? I called Sheldon aside because when you're talking a number like that, I want to make sure he likes it as much as I do. I think what we should do is let's just shake on the 175 because I think he's going to change his mind if we don't do it quickly.
Yeah.
And then maybe that'll help us in the other room.
And I think we got to keep this ball rolling.
Okay. We're going to take a chance on it, George. 175.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Now we're back in the game.
You said you got another shed right now over here? Why don't we take a look there and see what we can do? Holy cow. There's some good stuff back here. George, here's something I'd love to have because I got a thing about French stuff.
Yeah, you don't see an oil can in French very commonly around here, especially in Arco.
What would be a fair price for you to sell that to me for?
In French, I think it must be worth 75 bucks.
Would you sell it for 75? Because I think I'm in a buying mood.
Yeah, no, I don't think I want to sell it.
Okay. I know these things are near and dear to your heart, just like they're near and dear to me. I'm just going to point to a couple of them, and you can say yay or nay.
Okay.
Okay? The Flying Antifreeze.
No, not for sale.
Of course, I got to ask about the Red Indian.
No, the only one I got.
Okay. You got a couple of old Marvelube tins.
Yeah, those are handmade ones. They're not for sale because they're a neat display and they fit with my automotive collection, so to speak.
Now, you got a few of these old Irving oil cans.
What would you give me for that?
What would you want for it?
The pair of them for 20 bucks.
You know what? I'm not going to argue with you on that. That's a deal. And I could see that the grease would come off and they're actually in pretty good shape underneath.
Scott's very energetic. I wish I had him around for a couple weeks to help me. I'd keep him busy.
Just for interest's sake, would you part with that?
Yeah, sure.
30 pounds of cod. Very typical of the Maritimes. Not bad graphics.
Wouldn't that be good to have?
Yeah. What would you need?
25 bucks. Sheldon plays his cards closer to his chest, I think.
Would you say 20?
Sure.
Done.
George, you've got a door push.
Yeah, I'm not for sale.
And you got a Goodyear sign in here, too.
Yeah, I don't want to sell it, sorry.
You got a Farmer's Ice Cream sign.
Yeah, not for sale, thanks.
The gargoyle sign.
Not for sale.
They got a purchase sign.
No, I don't think I'll sell it.
It's not even a question of price. It's just not for sale. I can deal with the price. I can't deal with it's not for sale. Well, you're getting a sense of what I like. Is there anything that you think I would like that you're willing to part with?
I should sell you this, and you could put it around your neck.
So that you'll know I'm coming?
Be able to keep track of where you're at. Try it on, it'll be just right.
There's just one more thing.
What's that?
I'm gonna shake your hand at $100 on the gargoyle thing in the back. I thought this was the bad side, but that's the bad side.
100 bucks.
That's what you wanted for it, that's what you're getting for it.
Is there anything in the house we should look at?
It's a sampler. It's got the date of 1837. It's got who made it on the other side. A sampler is an old piece of textile that was generally done by young girls to show their proficiency in sewing. It would have been sort of part of her education.
That's right.
To make this sampler.
She was 12 years old when she did that in 1837.
And that was the little girl that lived in
That
this
lived
home.
in this house.
It's one I'd be very happy to have in my collection. You know, that to me, I don't know, Sheldon, $1,000, $1,500 sampler. That's a good thing.
Hard to find a good Canadiana piece like that. Very valuable. That's the best sampler that anybody in Canada has seen for a long time.
George, I know this is likely not for sale, but I gotta ask.
It's not for sale. It's a very close piece to this family and this house.
Hanging in the same
It's
spot?
been in that same spot since this wallpaper was put on this room.
Hey, that looks like fun.
It's an old Emerson TV.
But he did have this goofy old TV case. The guts were long gone, but the case was kind of fun.
It's the Howdy Doody show.
Is that something that you'd part with?
Yeah, I could see that going away.
What would you want for that?
30 bucks.
Let's go for it, George. Sold. Just because Scott looks so good on TV.
Somebody will use that as like a little showcase or something. It's a pretty green thing, and it'll clean up really good. The nice thing about that oil dispenser is the graphic on it of the gargoyle. So we bought a few things.
And we left you some really cool things.
Yeah, maybe you'll be by again.
Well, you take care of yourself, okay?
Thank you, guys.
And
All right,
we'll see you again.
All right.
Well, we didn't fill the van up today. We did establish a relationship. And if George wants to sell something, we're pretty comfortable he'll be calling us. But it was nice to get something good, and that churn is something good.
We're heading up to the Northumberland shores of Nova Scotia, and we're off to Pugwash. Love that name. Apparently it's Mi'kmaq, means shallow water. I'm not worried about the rain, because I got my lucky hat on today.
You got the Dorfman on.
Exactly. Yeah, we've got Pugwash has a population of about 1,000 people, an old village, very picturesque. This is definitely lobster fishing territory. Look at this guy on the right.
Yeah.
He's got fish nets. Now watch. He's
Oh, that's
gonna...
a barge.
Yeah, we've got a lead on Pick. We're going to see Victor. I think Victor's been collecting automobiles, gas pumps. Eclectic is the way he described what he's selling.
Well, that can be good. I think this is it.
looking like a likely spot right
I think
here.
this is it. Oh, there's a gas pump. Look at that.
Yeah. Classic
I think that's
cars.
some old cars, yeah.
You'd be Victor. I'm Sheldon. Nice to meet you.
Hey, Victor, how are you?
That's
Scott Cousins.
Scott?
Nice to meet you. That's
What a
hilarious.
great shop you have here.
So how long you been doing this? Restoring vehicles?
I bought that 31 Chev, 1958. The deal was made for $25 and I brought it home.
He used to teach auto body to hearing impaired children. He knows his stuff and he had some good things to show us.
I've come to an age where I got to start downsizing.
I noticed you've got some nice signs on the outside.
Decorates it up a little bit. Even the wife likes it, you know.
I like this one right here.
I assume from what you're telling me that if your wife likes it, that the stuff on the outside's not for sale?
Well, no, that's what she told me the other day. Just on this shit here, that's all.
Hey, Victor.
That gas pump you got, the Visible,
Yeah,
is that an original?
that's an original top.
You don't see those that often anymore.
I've been offered quite a little bit for it, but I haven't really.
So what have you been offered?
$5 grand.
Wow.
And I said no.
I just don't get it.
Would the sleigh be for sale?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know we just got here, but what would you want for something like that?
You're doing the buying.
Yeah, but you're doing we can't be buyer and seller both. You're the seller. What do you want for it?
The sled is probably between the two world wars. It's been well used. That's just character as far as I'm concerned.
40 bucks.
How about 30 and we strike the first deal of the day?
How about 35?
How about 35?
You're a good man.
All right. Well, we cracked the ice.
Good man.
Yeah, where do we go from here, Victor?
Can I just sort of snoop around?
You go right ahead.
I love when we break the ice quickly. Chances are, if we see some things we like, we're going to be able to do business.
Yeah, it's still got the grease in it. It's not in the greatest condition I've ever seen, but it is a white rose tin.
It is a white rose tin.
So what would you want for something like that?
30 bucks.
Yeah, I think that's about retail on it.
Is it?
Yeah, that's about what I would sell it
I
for.
heard it was 40 retail, but
Inflation in the East Coast.
East Coast.
Well, let's see if we can put a pile of stuff together, and
Okay.
I may come back to that little one.
Okay.
You got a little inventory here, it looks like, Vic.
Yikes!
Last guy came through here, he's buried under something, right?
It could be.
Yeah, as I walk up the stairs, I see that he's just chock-a-block full, mostly car stuff. But it's sort of interesting. Nice old wood wheel with a suicide.
No, that's
knob
not
on
for
it.
suicide, sir.
What is it?
That's what they call a steering wheel for you to get in an old car. It's called a fat man steering wheel.
So you've taken to insulting me this early in the game.
That's going probably on my Hudson over there.
Yeah, so I know it's not for sale, so we won't belabor the point.
Guys that work on automobiles, they're serious acquirers. Very few of them will actually let go. There's always that, I maybe could use this, or my buddy down the road could use this.
The diesel oil can, is that filled with stuff?
No,
Is it empty?
it's empty.
What would you want for that?
25.
Can you pull that out of there, Sheldon?
You bet.
You can take a look at it. And you don't see Irving out in Alberta. That's the only reason it has any interest to me, is because it's Irving, which is East Coast. They're probably the biggest oil and gas company in the Maritimes. They've been around for decades and decades. It's like a father to son deal. That stuff can be highly collectible. 20 bucks?
25, I think.
I know. 20 bucks?
25.
20
Good
bucks?
shape, man.
Hey, Victor,
Hard man.
you gotta be the little give, a little take, a little give
I
back.
gave him 5 down below.
Yeah, so you're gonna give me 5 here? 20 bucks?
Good man.
Okay.
You're hard, you're hard.
I'm trying to make money here, buddy.
I know you are.
He is hard, but he's fair. Hey, Scott, Victor knew we were coming.
Yes, 2 for you.
Little known fact, this country was settled because of these hats.
people.
The shorn
And they are the
beaver.
beaver hat,
Yeah,
too.
and these
Yeah.
are beaver.
Yeah.
Hudson's Bay Company, they needed pelts, and that's what they needed them for, was for hats in London.
I can't believe you made me put it on. Oh, yeah, I see you got the one without the mouse droppings in it.
And I guessed right and chose the right one, too. Master Cousins, I presume. I didn't look beforehand. Yeah. But I don't think we need hats. We got hats.
I don't need those hats.
We got hats.
There's an oiler up there for a train.
Does it say CP or CN on
I
it?
don't know what it says.
I'm just hoping I can get up there without killing anybody. And I could see from looking at it, it was pretty old. K's Leeds, so it's English.
Oh, is it?
But it is sort of fun. It's a cool little thing. What would you want for that?
45.
You got your name, like, where do you get these prices from?
People have asked me before.
Hey, Scotty, I don't think we're the first pickers to be here.
I think he's been dealing before. Are you negotiable at all on this?
What did I say?
You said 45.
I was sure he said 25.
I'll come down 5, sure.
5's not very much.
Scott and I are having some fun. Victor was too, for that matter, and he enjoyed showing off his wares.
See, I would have offered you 30 for it.
Did you say 35? Did I hear 35? 35?
Okay, we can do 35.
There you are. Good man. I might have put an extra $5 or $10 on each item so that I knew they were going to make me down, maybe.
Sheldon, I think we've seen what we can see here. I think we should head down to one of the other sheds.
Take you for a drive in the oldie.
All right. Yeah. Bonnie and Clyde, here we come. Victor's prized possession was his Chevy, and Victor and his wife had just driven across the country in a vintage automobile. Just an amazing story. Yeah, I love it.
That'll be $5.
That is a beauty. That's
Oh.
a thing of beauty,
Really,
that.
it is, yeah. That cost me $400.
I'm sure it did.
What are you working on here?
That's a 55 Lincoln from California. No rust.
This will be gorgeous.
There's your four-man bus.
I
then.
see. Is it painted on the
I
upside?
couldn't tell you.
What would you want for it before I start
Well, it's,
crawling up
the other
there?
one was two-man, so this four-man, that's double, isn't it?
Oh yeah, same paint job. This one was a little longer. You could get the whole family on it.
This one's been cobbled a bit at the front. They had to put this on so they could keep it together.
Victor, I think this one to me is worth 40 bucks.
Sure.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Something odd about that
Yeah.
sign. It's usually green and orange, right?
There's two different colors. I have the other green and orange down below.
The BA sign is a British American oil company. One of the reasons advertising is so highly desirable is because it was never meant to be a collectible. That would have been on the side of an old gas station.
Yeah.
So they hung out on the outside of buildings. They were exposed to the weather. They were exposed to kids shooting them. So to get a good sign in good condition is a tough thing to do. What would you want for something like that?
Oh, 500.
Well, you know your retail prices,
I was
Victor.
gonna say, Scott, down to the other shop.
Okay.
I'll let you lead the way. Oh yeah, here we go.
I see you got some more signs in here, Victor.
Two more, yeah.
What's your pricing like on these signs?
They're about the same as the one up above. They're getting hard to find. And
Brake battery kit. I'd spotted an old battery servicing case at the gas station. The attendant would have carried that out to your car, tested your battery, put the water in and everything else.
that's a gem.
Well, I wouldn't exactly call it a gem.
There's not a thing wrong
But
with it.
it's in good shape, I'll give it that. To me, it would be a gem if it said on the side of it, Red Indian
Well, I
oil.
know that. Yeah.
20 bucks?
Oh,
Well,
30.
If I'm going to sell it for 40 to
know.
50, I can't pay 30, okay?
I know, you can't.
Remember when I said you owe me one?
How much did you say, 25?
20, I said.
25, I thought you had.
25.
How about some oil cans? Look at that.
Unfortunately, it's an antifreeze tin and not an oil and gas tin, right? I have to say that's a nice decal at
It
least.
is.
So what would you like for that?
15. That's a good one.
Here, Scott.
It's an average one.
Listen.
Throw down the gauntlet. Say 15.
Okay, here, 15.
Thank you,
Got
sir.
it.
Thank you very much.
Is there anywhere else?
Was that bus over there, but
What's in the bus?
there's an old Barbie doll car in there, maybe a little one, a plastic one or something. I don't know.
Yikes. Oh my goodness. I saw the refuse of 100 junkyards inside that bus. Holy smoke!
Watch yourself, Scott.
Whoa!
And that bus was pungent.
Old country golden hymns. Do you know what? Did he fill this up, back it in here, and leave it here? How did he get in there?
When was the last time you had a tetanus shot?
Yeah, exactly. Tonight. Okay, I'm out of here.
Have you been deep?
I've been deep, and it ain't pretty.
What's Victor thinking?
You know what? I don't know what's sicker. The fact that he has a Barbie doll car in here or that he knows it's in here.
It was kind of a retirement plan project.
The project should be clearing that stuff out. Like, have you thought of psychotherapy?
No, not really.
No?
No, no.
Well, I think I got out of here pants intact. I'm not sure about anything else. Hey, I actually see something here that's sort of interesting.
No, he's found a treasure, I think.
Yeah, you got a couple bicycles in here. This one's a Murray.
Murray, yes.
They were more famous for making pedal cars than for bicycles.
Yeah, I think that's the only one they made. It's pretty rare. $75, sir.
I thought, you know what? It could be worth that. I want to get it down and see what kind of condition it is in.
It's just that last little bit of handlebar, guys.
Come on.
There. We just knocked 10 bucks off the price, Victor. What a shame, all the rust, because that's got some style to it.
This was sitting outside for a long time before you
Before
put
I
it in
got
the
it,
shed.
yes, yeah. But I couldn't resist it.
I know what you're saying. I mean, it's got great lines. It's got that 60s space age design to it. This is supposed to be pretending to be a gas tank.
Yep.
It's got the great pullback handlebars. I think it's probably a rare bike.
Yep.
It's just beat. One-time offer. Don't care if you say no, 40 bucks. Okay, well, at least you got it out for the next guy that comes
so I
along.
bring it over here then.
You know, there's just no money in it for us, right?
Okay.
If that wasn't rusty,
That's not rust. I think it's just like mildew on it, isn't it?
Jay, got a cloth with some oil in it? Well, there is some rust there for sure. If you put a lot of effort in that, I think you could bring some color back with oil. What is the best you would do on it?
I told you, what, 75?
Yeah.
Well, I'll drop down to 60. That's
60, and you help Scott load it into the
Load it
truck.
into the
All
truck.
right.
We got a deal at 60.
I enjoyed them, really enjoyed them.
Yeah, let me put this in first, though, because we've only got so much room.
In Nova Scotia, I seem to be running across all sorts of winter sports.
Nice visual, and we don't have them out west, so somebody's going to want to throw that in their collection. With a good oiling, that bike might actually look not bad. I wish I could have bought some more stuff off
Oh,
you, but
well.
you like it as much as I do.
Maybe the next time.
Maybe the next time.
You folks have a good journey, and I hope you enjoyed Nova Scotia.
Love
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
And safe travels in those little
Oh,
cars.
we enjoy them.
I've never met a car collector I don't like. They're people. Victor was one of those as well. Thanks a lot.
See you now.
See you later.
Happy trails.
Hard guy to buy from, but he's a good guy.
Those photos that you sent to the appraiser, he must have had a chance to look at them by now.
He should be able to give us an idea.
I've seen a lot of butter churns in the last little while in Nova Scotia. That one we got was exceptional.
It's got a good look to it.
Its stenciling just puts it visually far and above any other butter churn I've seen for a long time.
What about just pulling in here and giving him a call?
I called one of my buddies back in Calgary to see if he could help us out. He gave me the name of a person he knows in Amherst. Oh, is that you, Don?
Yes, it is.
You get those photos?
Yes, I got your photos.
Have you ever seen one with stenciling like that?
Yes, a long time ago. You don't see them very often, but once in a while.
175 bucks.
That chart has a value of about $2,500.
Thanks for taking the time for us.
No problem.
Wow.
I feel good about that.
That's a lot more than I thought. Do I have to pay for it first, or can I eat it first? Perfect. Mmm. We meet great people everywhere, but the people here, it's just like being home, isn't it?
And the history.
That butter churn is about 135 years older than Alberta. I hardly wait to come back.
But in the meantime, go west, young pickers.
Now, I'm not sure I'd want my house backing onto a cemetery. What about you?
Nice and quiet.
That's right. Speaking of quiet, how were those neighbors last night in your room?
Oh, 4:30 a.m. It's getting to be a habit. Except it's not the same people.
Oh, gosh, that's funny.
Glad you're getting a kick out of that.